on earth do we have here? Well, guys, do I have something special for you. This is a 2013 Silverado 1500. Not so much like our 2004 Silverado out there that we built, but this is a 2013 Silverado 1500. Now, this is my favorite body style Silverado truck to be lifted of all time. This is just like the classic, you know, honestly, jack this thing up 6 inches, some 35s. It's your classic lifted truck. Back in the, I don't know what time, Florida Georgia line, Luke Bryan. This was like the lifted truck you saw in every single music video, and this is the truck growing up. I was like, wow, I want one of those one of these days. So here we have it. However, customer wants a 3-inch lift all the way around, still uses it for work. I'm gonna let you in on a secret. Nobody sells a 3-inch lift all the way around. It's usually 3 in 1, 3 in 2, or just a 3-inch level. So we're going to be putting a 3-inch lift all the way around on this truck today with a mixture of 3 different lift kits. So here we have 3 lift kits, 2 brands, to give us what we want. You may ask why I need to do such a thing to make this just a simple 3-inch lift, because plot twist, customer also wanted new struts and new shocks as well. We've got 2-inch lifted struts, we've got 3-inch rear lift blocks, 3 to 4-inch lift rear shocks, 3.5-inch lift upper control arms, and a 1-inch leveling kit. Yes, you heard me right, 1-inch leveling kit. These are the Rough Country forged upper control arms. Like I said, he wanted new struts, new shocks, new upper control arms with the, you know, new ball joints and all, because if you put a 3-inch lift on one of these trucks, these ball joints on the upper side of the control arm, they will go fast. He wanted reliability and a lift and all new components, so I had to get my thinking cap on. So Rough Country makes 3.5-inch lifted struts. If you do a 3.5-inch lift on one of these trucks, you got to do a lot more modification to the front diff, all that kind of stuff. If you just buy the MotoFab or whatever 3-inch lift with a 2-inch block, it's not 3 inches all the way around, no new strut, no upper control arm. So we're gonna put on pretty much 2-inch lift with our loaded struts, a 1-inch leveling kit to give us 3 inches up front, new control arms that are good for 2.5 to 3.5 inches of lift, or I believe it's 6.5 to 7.5 inches of lift. And then we're gonna put in their Rough Country's universal 3-inch rear blocks and their 3 to 4-inch, I think, or 3 to 5-inch rear shocks. So in reality, out of its own lift kit, that's kind of its own lift kit. Those are universal parts, and this is its own lift kit. It's already a doozy. It's really hot. I'm actually gonna go change, and let's get into it. There's more reasons than just this truck being this truck of why I absolutely love these trucks. This suspension is probably the only suspension in history where they designed, GM manufacturers or even Chevy, Chrysler, Ford. This is the only truck and the only suspension I've ever run into where everything just makes sense. 18 mil nut. The axle nuts all in there are 15s. These are 15s. Up here, 18s and 18s. This right here is like a 35 or 36 mil depending on the year. 18s on the caliper. You really only need about 3 tools max to get this whole front end apart. You got an 18 and a 21 on the lower control arms. I've lifted so many of these suspension trucks, I can almost do it blindfolded because everything just makes sense. Oh yeah, 15 mil nut here as well. So honestly, little trick I've learned over the years, the amount of leveling kits and stuff I've done on these trucks, especially just like the simple 3-inch lift with just a upper, new strut and a 1-inch level. I tried disconnecting this. It's quite tight. You don't have to, because what we're going to do is work from both sides of the vehicle, and the weight of the other arm and knuckle will bring this sway bar down with it on the other side. So when we do that, the whole lower control arm on both sides will sag a little lower. We can get our strut out, we can get our arms off, new arms in, new strut in, and our leveling kit in the front is essentially done. So I'm gonna go zip the other side off really quick. Alright guys, so this control arm bolt gave me a little bit of a time there, but we got it out. Everything else is disconnected here, and this is all you really need for the 3-inch lift. If you did like 4 or 6, you'd then take out, obviously you'd take the knuckle off, the caliper off, sway bar off, drop this, and then put your brackets on, drop your diff, do all that. But because this is like a, just like a 3-inch lift, what we're going to do now, honestly I'm going to touch this up with some paint, make it look all pretty because there's no chance this is ever coming off again. We're going to put our new strut in there. If you can see, it is a little bit longer than the factory, so that's going to give you your 2 inches of lift. And then our 1-inch leveling kit from MotoFab is going to go underneath, and that'll give us 3 inches up front. This will sit right here. And then we'll use the MotoFab hardware because that supports the strut plate and the leveling kit thickness, so we'll use that hardware. But first, just how you took the arm off last, you're going to put the arm on first, otherwise you won't be able to get the bolts in, so make sure you do that. You guys already know the Eastwood Rust Encapsulator. It's good over surface rust, as you can see, and it literally just stops it. You can top coat it with paint if you want. And on top of that, the new lift underneath here, it'll look all nice and pretty. So guys, obviously this side is not put together yet, but just look at how, you know, rusty and just kind of just like 2013 it looks, really, for just, you know, what it is. All rusted out and stuff like that. It's just normal. It honestly is. Taking the extra time to touch up this side, it looks so much better with everything being black and just like that. It looks almost new again. It looks clean, and obviously with the fresh parts in there, it looks so much better if you just take the time to touch it up and clean it up while you're in there. Boom. Not so much boom, but it's done. The front half of this truck is done. It looks so much better, one, touched up with paint, but two, with our new suspension components. Upper control arms from Rough Country do look pretty darn sweet and beefy. Our MotoFab leveling kit stacked with our Rough Country 2-inch lifted strut does look sharp, and will give us 3 inches, maybe even a little more. I don't think so, but at least 3 inches of lift. But she looks so good. All right, so we just went ahead, took off our rear tire, just to make our life so much easier. In here, U-bolts and shocks, it's a super simple, you know, process. Loosen, but do not remove one side of your U-bolts. Loosen and remove the other side. Get both shocks off. Put your block in, bolt it, keep it loose, remove the other side, new block in. Biggest mistake I ever made when doing leaf spring and U-bolt suspension, you gotta loosen one up. It'll make your life a million times easier. Most of the time they say work from one side of the vehicle, but then your axle doesn't move and you're gonna be fighting it. Loosen one set of U-bolts, remove the other, and just cake. Absolute cake after that. So let's zip this together so we can finish this up because I am exhausted. It is really, really hot today. Oh, well, here you guys have it. Honestly, a super, just clean look. Just super clean. Obviously, he wanted the 3-inch lift all the way around. So you still get that factory rake on the truck. So the truck isn't leveled, but you still got the factory rake. Everything's just up 3 inches from where we started. So stacking a 2-inch level on a 1-inch level to get 3 inches of lift with your new upper control arms does in fact work, and it does look really, really good. Same thing over here, just a clean install. Looks so nice. New parts on old vehicles, really cleans it up underneath. In the rear, just new Rough Country shocks and the universal brackets and U-bolts. People ask me all the time how I find like measurements and stuff for like coilovers, universal things. I don't even know. I don't know how I found out how these are like, I think they're 10, not, I don't know the thickness of the U-bolt, but the length is like 10.5 if you guys are like looking at that, and then just go find whatever factory, it's like the non-loop U-bolt, it's a square one. Rough Country has a buttload of universal U-bolts and lift blocks on their site. So if you guys are gonna, you know, dabble in there, they have a wide variety of stuff for you, which is how we achieved this lift today. Literally on the site, I pieced it completely together. The MotoFab leveling kit got on Amazon. Everything else I got from Rough Country. The forged upper control arms were a bit back ordered with all the COVID stuff, but they came in and everything's good to go. I'm gonna go take this for a drive, see how all these Rough Country loaded struts feel. Oh my god, right, so much better than my purple truck, that's for sure. So much better than that Chevy. Honestly, I could feel the motor in my feet, but I cannot feel like I cannot feel the suspension. This thing feels like I'm riding on a cloud. Like, truthfully feels like I'm riding on a cloud. Wow. Good job, Rough Country. Honestly, those loaded struts feel great. Same thing with the new rear shocks, to be honest. Wow, this feels great. Oh my goodness. Looks like he didn't get any sensors with his off-road wheels, but it's all good in the hood. Oh, I mean, obviously just driving around the block here, it does feel quite amazing. So these Rough Country lifted struts will get the job done if that's what you're looking for. They do ride ridiculously nice, actually. I can't believe it. I honestly feel like I'm on a cloud. Like, that's what people, I mean, like, legitimately, I'm like, ooh. And I can feel, like, the motor in my feet, but, like, not the road, which is amazing. Okay, guys, so I'm beat. That did beat me up. I'm relaxing, you know, lounge chair. It's one of those moments where you're like, wow, I'm kind of proud. You know, I went through all the research, did everything I could, found all those parts, pieced together that lift, put it on, and she turned out great. She turned out great. put a lift a long time ago on my buddy's almost identical truck, 3-inch MotoFab lift, and let me tell you, that actually this went on a lot easier than the MotoFab 3-inch lift. That 3-inch MotoFab, I mean, we had a time and a half trying to get a 3-inch spacer in the strut tower while keeping all the other components stock. We had a time and a half doing that. As you guys know, I will be heading to Florida here. If not the day you guys are seeing this video, I will be on my way to the Sunshine State. Yes, taking the kitty down there. We are coming up on a couple awesome opportunities for us for this channel. It's like snowing here, cottonwood falling, you know, but but obviously with our purple Silverado being pretty much done, and I don't really want to tackle any more on that because the vehicle I'm trying to acquire will replace that. Honestly, another regular cab long bed truck would be pretty sweet. Maybe in the future. However, right now, what I want to replace that with, we're waiting on ordering to open up, or we're waiting on an opportunity to find one on the lot somewhere, built to spec. And obviously you guys can see how I like my things built color-wise. It's quite difficult. Honestly, there's probably a good 3 vehicles in mind that I'm trying to obtain, all of which will be sweet. Depends on which one I kind of want to go with first and which one kind of falls in my lap first, to be honest. Because if I get the one vehicle I want that would replace that just completely, I wouldn't want it in regular cab form. Let's just say that. You see where I'm going? I'd be using it to drive long distances with possibly that attached. So a regular cab with no space in a back seat is just not what I want, although would be pretty sweet. The other vehicle I'm trying to obtain would just be like another fancy show vehicle, but could be off-roaded. And then the third one could also be off-roaded, but could also be a fancy show vehicle. So I don't know. We're kind of up in the air here. Depends on what falls in my lap first. Honestly, would love to build all 3 and more this year. I got a couple other projects in mind prior or before or during or after all of them. I've got a lot of projects in mind, a lot of things I want to get done, a lot of cool things I want to build on this channel. It just kind of all depends on what I want first, what I can find first, and yeah, I'm not the guy that'll go to a truck lot, just buy a truck because it is that truck, because the color's white, it's black, it's just there, and I'm gonna build it and just do that. No, I want to build something cool. I want to build something fun. I want to build something different, because why on earth do I want to see the same white trucks all over, the same black trucks all over, polished wheels, not, you know, it's just the same thing. I've seen renderings just pop up on my Instagram for trucks going to SEMA this year. Obviously you guys know my Ram went to SEMA last year, but all the renderings are like white crew cab Super Duties. There's probably a good 4, 5, 6 of them that just, you know, I go to the who posted the rendering, go to their page, all the SEMA renderings are like 4, 5, 6, 7 trucks deep of white crew cab Super Duties. There's just no originality there. So like I said, I don't want to sit there and build something that everyone else can build, because why do that? Build something custom. There is one truck I'm actually looking at that's super cool. It's painted an awesome color, but the problem is it's got like 200,000 miles on it. I don't know if I want to put all that money into something with 200K on it. Yeah guys, a lot of exciting stuff coming to this channel very shortly. Just trying to kind of play it all out, plan it all out. I just want to say thank you guys for watching. If you enjoyed that install, found it informative or anything, shoot this video a thumbs up. If you haven't been here before, please click subscribe. Thank you guys for watching. Take care, and I will see you guys in the next video.